Missed me at 8 feet. Ma, you aren't aiming pretty like you used to.
Sam. Sam, I might have killed you. Sam Houston, don't you dare kiss me, you heathen. What do you mean, slinking in here in the middle of the night?
Mother, I was figuring on borrowing this musket. I've been honored with an invitation to join a Cherokee hunting party.
Hunting party, indeed. Sam Houston, what in the world are you? Instead of doing honest work, you're traipsing around in the woods playing Indian.
Well, I've showed I can work. Who cleared these fields? And who cut the logs for this house?
And who tried teaching school and wouldn't stick to it? And who worked in the Marysville store and ran away from it?
Any man worth a pint of powder would rather measure deer tracks than sew tape.
Sam, you've been living out there with the Indians for almost a year now, and you're white. Son, what do you find out there your home can't give you?
Freedom. But only the Cherokees seem to understand what I mean by the word.
Get out of your beds. Come on out.
What do you want?
Get out to the square. Washington's been burned. Andy Jackson's calling for volunteers. Come on, you men. Get a move on you. Andy Jackson's calling for volunteers. Who'll be the first Marysville man to sign this book? The enemy's made a shambles out of the east. Federal government's fled to Philadelphia. I tell you, our country's only hope lies in the west and Andy Jackson. Here comes Jackson's first volunteers from Nashville. Andy Jackson's on the march to New Orleans. Listen. For every man that volunteers, there's $1 on this drum. Silver dollar. Boys, a silver dollar, brand new uniform, and a chance for everlasting glory. Come on, you men from Tennessee. Who'll fight for his flag, his farm, and his family? Who'll fight for Andy Jackson and freedom?
I will.
That's the lad.
Samuel Houston.
He will.
Sure, Houston will.
He big Indian, brother will.
Crazy Sam Houston.
Crazy, am I? Well, just remember this, that when the time came to fight, Houston was crazy enough to volunteer. Crazy enough to fight for a lot of hang-tail sheep like you. Come here, you. Write down Goodwin Davis in the enlistment book. Goodwin Davis is going to fight for his flag and Andrew Jackson. Now, come on up here, some of the rest of you, or I'll drag you up by the heels. Robert Watson, dedicating his life to his country.
Not me, Sam Houston. You can go and get yourself killed, and a good riddance, but not me. Jackson's gonna lose. He ain't got a chance. General Jackson.
You're afraid to go to war, that's all. And it ain't nothing to be ashamed of. The man that says he isn't afraid to face gunfire is a liar and a fool. But there are things that Americans have always been afraid of. Things they've hated worse than gunfire. And one of them is dictatorship. Our fathers died to free this country. They died, but freedom lived. And tonight, from every state, their sons are on the march to keep it free. Friend, I want you with them. I need you. I need every man and gun in Tennessee. Are you with me?
Hooray for Andy Jackson!
Hooray for freedom and Andrew Jackson!
reason for re-electing Sam Houston governor of Tennessee is that he's one of those rare specimens of darn fools that don't know how to quit. With his wound still unhealed from the bloody Battle of Horseshoe Bend, he reported to me for duty on the ramparts of New Orleans. He fit his way from New Orleans to Washington and the Congress of the United States at the age of 29. From Congress, he fit his way to the governorship of our beloved state, clawing and scratching all the way. Third reason for re-electing Governor Houston is that whenever he is fighting the hardest, he's thinking the fastest. And when he's thinking and fighting, he's talking the loudest of any man in Tennessee. Excepting me. Friends, there's one more reason. You all know that tomorrow Governor Houston is to be married to Miss Eliza Allen of Gallatin. So, I want you to give the bride the biggest majority in the history of this state as a wedding present.
Eliza, stop that crying, honey lamb. Your eyes is going to be all reddened up. Don't nobody come in.
Eliza, my dear. My daughter, what's the matter? Eliza, you promised me there'd be no further outbursts of this sort.
I can't go in, Father. I'm afraid. But that's nonsense, child.
For as much as Samuel Houston and Eliza Allen have consented together in holy wedlock, and have declared the same by giving a ring and by joining hands, I pronounce that they are man and wife.
I believe that's the first time I ever kissed a lady's hand in my life.
Gentlemen kiss ladies' hands all the time.
Oh, but darling, you didn't marry a gentleman. You married a fighter and a politician. All my life, I've wanted just this. A wife like you. Gentle and pretty. Now that I've got her, I'm scared. You know, you remind me of a song that my mother used to sing when I was very young. I know a lady, sweet and kind. That's what you are. Do you know what Annie Jackson said to me? Aim at the White House, Sam. And with Eliza to steady your course, you'll be president yet. And I'll take you to the White House, darling, if I have to kiss every voter's baby in the United States. My friends and fellow citizens of Tennessee, it affords me great pleasure to address you on this glorious occasion. I want and need your support in the forthcoming election, and I know that you won't disappoint one. I'm driven to serve you until. If I am re-elected governor of the state of Tennessee, I will institute reforms beyond your fondest hopes. And that's First Lady of Tennessee, Mrs. Sam Houston.
Bring the missus and come down.
Yeah, we want to kiss the bride! In heaven's name, dear, smile.
In heaven's name, what for?
Some shindig, huh?
dancing as your man is at fighting. I ain't going home until the last dog is hung. Whee!
Some shindig, ain't Annie?
Yeah.
Bear me, my favorite.
I declare, it does a body good to watch the governor chaw down on a hunk of bear meat. Miss Houston, you got a man.
Well, gentlemen, what's your problem?
Governor, we're from Poke Ridge. Billy Carroll's been up in our part, spouting a lot of words about what a great governor he'd make us.
Well, Billy Carroll's a mighty pleasant talker, friend.
But we don't hold so much with tongue talk. We like to be showed who's the best man. And we've got 196 votes to be cast for the candidate who can prove it.
For 196 votes, I'd wrestle any man in Tennessee to kingdom come.
We calculated maybe you'd feel that way about it. Elam, come here.
You aiming to throw me, Governor?
Just like I'm aiming to throw Billy Carroll on election day.
You ready?
Yeah.
Get him, Governor! Gouge him! Chaw his ears off!
You got him, Governor. Keep after him.
Lanny. Lanny,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to Gallatin tonight. Have the carriage ready.
The governor ain't going to be fitting to go no place tonight, ma'am, after this ruckus.
The governor isn't going. Please do as I say.
You mean you're aiming to go without him?
Yes, don't stand there muttering. Do as I say.
Yes, ma'am.
Folks, I think we need a little drink.
All right, Henry.
Wait a minute, folks. Now, you men of Poke Ridge, I'll tell you how me and Andy Jackson beat the Indians.
Houston.
Eliza. Eliza. Eliza, open this door. Mrs. Houston, why was that door locked?
Sam, I was afraid.
Is that why you ordered the carriage?
No, Sam. That is,
Well, answer me, straight.
Sam, I'm going home.
You're going nowhere.
I can't stand this horrible campaigning any longer. I've got to get away.
So you'd give the gossip something good to chew on, huh? You're my wife and your place is here with me.
You can't make me stay. I'm going to Gallatin tonight.
You're not.
Let go of me. Don't you ever touch me again.
Why, Eliza, what have I done to make you feel like that?
How do you think it's made me feel to watch you, to listen to you night after night, bawling speeches, gulping whiskey, rolling in the stable mud?
But it was for you.
Oh, for me.
Yes, every vote, every victory, to make you the First Lady of Tennessee, and then the White House. Don't you see, Eliza, to be a statesman, you have to start by being a politician. I couldn't lose the common touch.
You'll never lose it. You were born with it.
Yes, I was born with it. A man, a common man. I should never have asked a lady to share my world. It's a hard, common, brawling world. And I like it.
Very well, then. Live in it. Wallow in it. Die in it for all I can.
All I can say is where there's smoke, there's fire. And she must have left him for some mighty good reason.
High-toned little fool. She didn't know when she was well off. She'll never get a man like Sam Houston again.
She was too good for him.
The governor was too good for her.
They say Mrs. Houston's left him, treating her like a squaw. Shame on him. And she's so young, too.
Why, it's a disgrace to the state of Tennessee.
Let's kick him out of office.
I say he ought to be tarred and feathered. Houston is a disgrace to Tennessee.
Let's run him out of town! For some weeks past, gossips and scandal mongers amongst you have striven to violate the privacy of Mrs. Houston and myself. I have been steadfastly silent on the matter, and my political enemies have turned my silence into slander. I am determined to maintain my silence always. Yet since I am sensible, and sadly so, that the private life of a public man doesn't belong to himself or to his friends, but to his enemies, I do hereby reclaim my right to privacy. I am tendering you my resignation as governor of the state of Tennessee. I am quitting Nashville this evening. And I leave one final thought with all of you. That if any person dares to utter one word against the conduct or character of Mrs. Houston, I shall return and write the libel in his blood.
Say, don't your friend ever eat any victuals?
Nope. Been living on scamper juice ever since we left Nashville.
How long?
Oh, ever since his wife left him and he found out there wasn't no chance of ever patching things up. Then there was a divorce. His one idea was for me to bring him to the Cherokee Nation and you.
Oh, Tika. My son, forget this woman. She was not true wife. Don't you dare. Stop. Good. Come with me. We make big medicine. Drive evil spirit from my white son.
Houston, give me that. Now, you listen to me, Sam Houston. I've been trailing with you for 16 years. I nursed you along on a 4 months drunk, all the way from Nashville to Arkansas without saying a word. But when you're so far gone as to hit a poor old Injun like Ulatiki, one of the best friends you got in the world, then I quit. You ain't the man to start it out with anymore, General. You're just a low-down liquor log sot. Yeah, there's your grog. Swill it down, water in it, rub it in your hair, 'cause Lanny Upchurch is through with you.
Oh, oh, lele, oh, oh, le, oh, oh, lele, oh, le, oh, le, na, oh, lele, oh, le, oh, lele, oh, le, oh, le, Oh, wish I just shall hold the hog in the nog. When you smoke pipe of brotherhood, you leave world of white men forever. You are then brave of Cherokee people. My son, my lodge is now yours. My hunting grounds are yours. My people are your people. Rest with us.
Hello, Tika. Something for you. Put it over here. Government's orders to move you Cherokees 200 miles west into the Missouri country.
But White Father promised we never move again.
I got my orders.
Here they are, straight from Washington.
White father not pay parole lands in Tennessee.
Oh, but you're wrong. I brought $60,000 with me to pay you off in full. There's your share, $40.
But this is paper.
Script. The government's promised to pay.
Treaty said silver.
Now, listen, Ulatiga, there's $40 there for each member of your tribe. Now, that's just as good as silver. Take it or leave it. Standing squirrel?
Me.
There.
Hey, Squirrel.
Huh?
I got a bag of nuts for you. How much worth you got there?
White men say $40.
Oh, that stuff. Script. Beats all how the United States government could skunk a lot of helpless, ignorant savages.
Certainly does.
Well, just to show you that all the white men in the world ain't thieves, I'm gonna buy that script off you. Here's $2 silver for the lot.
And 2 quarts of corn in the bargain. Go ahead, taste it.
His Excellency, the Ambassador of Austria.
Gentlemen, we'll play the Vienna Dream.
His Excellency, the Ambassador from the Cherokee Indian Nation.
The peace of the Great Spirit be upon you.
Hello, Sam.
Your servant, General. May I present my adopted father, Ulatika?
Welcome to our long house. Hello, Lanny.
Howdy, General.
You'll excuse us, Mr. President?
Glad to see you looking so fit, Sam.
Thanks, General.
Yes, you've got that Tennessee gleam in your eye again.
Tennessee is a closed book, General.
I know. Maybe better than you think.
And you knew about...
You don't think I'd lose track of you, do you, Sam? Not me. I knew what you were going through and why. But I wasn't worried. I knew you'd come back when you found something worth coming back for.
I have.
Commander Blake.
Say, look here now, General. I've traveled over 1,200 miles to see you.
We'll talk later, Sam.
Mr. President.
Commander Blake, allow me to present Ambassador Houston of the Cherokee Indian Nation. Ambassador Houston, Commander Blake.
Ambassador Houston.
I'd appreciate it if you'd introduce the ambassador to some of the ladies. He used to be the champion dancer and the biggest talker in Tennessee.
I'm honored, Mr. President. If you'll step this way.
See you later, Sam. Ulitiki.
Newberry, may I present Ambassador Houston?
You're a servant, ma'am.
And the Miss Newberry.
And yours. Will you do me the honor of this dance?
No thanks, Ambassador. This is a polka, not a war dance. Come, dear. Served him right. Coming here dressed like a savage.
Good evening, Commander Blake.
Good evening, Miss Lee. Miss Lee, may I present Ambassador Houston?
Your servant, ma'am.
I'm sorry, sir, but you don't seem to approve of our heathen custom of dancing. Couldn't I persuade you to change your mind?
I can conceive of no prouder privilege nor greater pleasure, ma'am.
So that's Sam Houston, huh?
Yes, Mr. Hoskins, just the man we need.
You know, when I was round about your age, Miss Lee, people used to call me crazy. They're going to call you worse than that after tonight.
After tonight, it won't matter. I'm leaving Washington with my family to join Steve Austin's colony in Texas.
Pretty wild country down there. Think you like it?
I love it. After Friday, I'll be able to breathe. No more stays, no more kid gloves.
Dust storms and coyotes.
I know.
Pretty good shindig, ain't it?
Well, thank you, Miss Lee. I didn't expect anyone to dance with me.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
I've got to go talk to Andy Jackson. When I get through, I wonder if I might,
I'll be waiting, Ambassador.
well, how am I going to find you again?
Just give a war whoop. I'll be the one who doesn't faint. I might even hoop back.
Well, Sam? What do you want of me?
First, I want you to rescind your order moving the Cherokees out of their lands in Arkansas.
Oh, wait a minute, Sam. You know, the country's growing. The settlers have got to have room. Your Cherokees got paid for their Tennessee lands, didn't they? They'll get paid for their Arkansas lands.
They haven't been paid anything, except government script.
Well, what's the matter with that?
They don't understand anything except honest silver. Why, they've even traded off $60,000 in script to thieving renegades for whiskey.
What do you want me to do about it?
Make your payments in silver and leave them alone.
Tell you what, Sam. You meet me in my study in an hour. I want to talk this over thoroughly with Secretary Eden.
Why do you have to talk it over with anybody? You're the President of the United States, ain't you? And the Cherokees are the most trustworthy, civilized tribe in America.
The Cherokees ain't all I'm thinking about, Sam. Now, you meet me in my study at 11:40.
Mr. Houston?
Yes?
My name is Hoskins. John Hoskins from Texas.
At your service, sir.
If you don't mind, sir, I'd like to talk to you about a very important matter in private.
I'd be very happy to oblige if it won't take too long.
It won't take long.
I tell you, Governor, I can get the money, and I can get the guns and the ammunition. But we Texans haven't got an army. And most important of all, we haven't got a leader. Now, that's where you might fit in.
Sorry, Mr. Hoskins. You got a proposition there that really interests me.
Well?
If I didn't have other people to think about.
I've talked the matter over thoroughly with Mr. Eden, and I've about made up my mind. Sam, what would you say if I turned you down?
You do, and you'll have the worst Indian war on your hands the United States ever saw.
Think so?
I know so. You've pushed my people to the end of their patience. You've made treaties with them and broken them. And now you want to take away their last homelands. I'm warning you, Andy. Before they give in to you, they'll fight. And I'll fight with them.
What good would that do against my superior army and equipment?
Maybe no good in the end. But I can organize and lead 7,000 braves. I can fight them behind trees and in swamps. I can retreat and dodge and feint better than the smartest fox in Arkansas. I can make it so hot for the United States Army that you'll wish you'd never sick them on my adopted people. That's what I can do, Andrew Jackson. And by the eternal, that's what I will do.
Yes, that's what I figured you'd do, Sam. So, I'll make a deal with you.
What kind of a deal?
You sever your relations with the Cherokee Nation and become a white man again, and I'll give you Cherokees everything you asked for them.
Well, why do you ask me to do that, Andy?
You're too good a military man to remain an Indian, and I'd hate to see you use your skill with the Indians against your own race. Now, come back and serve the country you belong in.
The United States? Oh, no. I'm a marked man in this country. The only future I'd have would be hanging onto the coattails of Andy Jackson. That's one thing I won't do.
You're a hard man, Sam Houston, and a stubborn man when you're riled. But so am I. Now, my offer about the Cherokees still stands. You can take it or leave it.
All right. I'll take you up on that, Andy Jackson, but only because it's the only way I can get justice for the Cherokees. As for me and the United States, well, you can count me out. I'm going to a land where even you can't reach me. I'm going to Texas.
Texas?
There's an empire to be built down there. Texas, northern Mexico, the whole Southwest, clear through to California.
You know, I was under the vague impression that Texas was under the Mexican flag.
Then I'll make it an independent state. How would you like that?
I wouldn't like it. I hold that Texas was part of the Louisiana Purchase and belongs to the United States.
I hold that it's free territory and belongs to the man that's strong enough to take it.
Not to me, it isn't. Now, as long as we're at peace with Mexico, I don't want to assert my claim. But I won't see Texas fall a prey to some power-drunk adventurer like yourself, Sam Houston. I want to see Texas a state in the United States.
And I want to see it a refuge for freedom, where I can look an Indian in the eye and not be ashamed of my race.
Sam, you're probably the only man who could establish an outlaw state in the Southwest and make it stick. But if you try it, the United States Army will string you up for treason, even if I have to lead the hangman's crew myself.
I'll be honored to see you in Texas, sir. And if one of us has got to get hanged, let it be he who first betrays the cause of freedom. Good evening, Miss Lee.
Mr. Houston, you remembered I was leaving.
I remember everything important, Mum.
So I see. I've been reading about the treaty you made for the Cherokees. It's splendid.
Perhaps I paid too great a price for it.
Is any price too great to pay for freedom and justice?
All aboard!
I'm so glad you came.
I'll see you to the coach.
Hurry, Margaret, we're leaving.
Oh, Mother. Mother, may I present Mr. Samuel Houston, my mother, and my uncle, Mr. Jonas Lee.
Your servant, ma'am, and yours, sir.
Governor Houston came down to see us off to Texas.
How nice.
Oh, why don't you ride on top? It's a fine night.
Well,
Room to breathe. Come on.
Mr. Houston, you're not going too.
Yes, ma'am. With your permission, I'm going with you to Texas.
I think I'm a little disappointed in you.
Because I'm going to Texas?
No. Because you let me think you came down to see me off. And all the time you were just taking the stage yourself.
There are many ways west, Mum. It wasn't by chance that I took the Friday stagecoach.
Honestly?
Honestly.
He stayed on the coach. He's going west, too. Margaret's up there in the night air with a divorced man.
A man who's been twice governor of Tennessee.
Almost an Indian.
He won't scalp her.
The man has a living wife. You can't deny that.
Well, Start up in the way you talk about it, you'd think he was proposing to her.
I wonder if you know what you're facing. What kind of a life?
Yes, I do know.
I doubt it. In spite of all your talk about turning your face to the dust storms and the wind, glorying in it.
You must think I have a very romantic idea about the wilderness. I haven't.
Perhaps not. At least I hope not. Because I've seen what a hard frontier life can do to a pretty gentle girl.
I think I know all about that too, Mr. Houston. But there was another woman. She had been gently raised too. When her husband died, she took her little son out to the free land, out to the wilderness. And she raised the governor of Tennessee.
I tell you, Texas is ripe. She's going to burst. If it doesn't drop off first in some fire eater's hat.
It'd have to be a mighty big hat to hold Texas.
Well, mine might be big enough.
Mr. Houston, you're not seriously considering this matter.
The sound of Texas appeals to me. There's room enough down there for a man to stretch his soul as well as his legs. After messing around with Washington politicians, I feel that my soul needs stretching.
They have a name for men who found outlaw empires, and it isn't a very pretty one.
They call them names until it works. Then they're saviors of their people. Evening, Lenny.
Oh, evening, General.
General, tell me Texas got the finest rangeland in the West.
So I've heard.
You know, it might be just a spot for a fella to settle down, build himself a home, raise a family.
Good idea, Lenny. Glad to hear that you're figuring on settling down after all these years.
Who, me? Oh, shucks, General. I wasn't thinking of myself. You think Sam Houston's going to Texas to farmland and raise hogs? Oh, no, not him. Listen, General of the United States Army, Congressman, Governor of the state of Tennessee, right-hand personal friend of Andy Jackson. I tell you, he'll be running the whole shebang in Texas before he's through.
Divorce or no divorce, in the eyes of decent people.
Sarah, there ain't enough interest in Sam Houston's divorce to last me here to Texas.
How would you feel if your only child fell head over heels in love with a married man?
How do you know she's in love?
A man on a galloping horse could tell she was in love.
Man on a galloping horse.
How was that?
Glorious.
You know, I can't stand jog-trotting hour after hour.
I can't either.
I'm sorry. I have no right.
Don't apologize, Sam. It had to happen. I wanted it to.
But there are some things that you don't know, Margaret. I think we'd better go back.
Riding out alone with him like that, it doesn't look right.
I don't care what it looks like, Mother. I love him.
Margaret, do you realize he's got a living wife?
So that's why.
Margaret.
Please stay there, Sam. There's something I want to say to you, and I'd rather you didn't see my face. Sam, the divorce, I want you to know that doesn't matter to me. I understand all about it, and I don't care. You wouldn't make a good husband for a little girl fresh from the nursery. Life with you wouldn't be easy and pretty. But don't you see, I don't want ease and prettiness. I can make you happy, Sam. I can be happy with you. I love you. There, I've said it.
Margaret, you're...
Is that all you have to say?
No, Margaret. Much more. I'm just trying to think of a way to say it so that you'll understand and not be hurt. You mustn't be hurt. Oh, I'd never forgive myself if...
I think I understand. You don't want me.
Please let me try to make you understand, darling. I have big plans. I have work to do. It's in the cards that I may even hang for what I intend doing.
Oh, let me go.
No, not till I've told you. I can't ask you to share my life these next years. And I can't go into this fight for Texas with a divided heart. So don't you see, right now, I can't have a wife or a home.
You don't want them?
It isn't that. I don't dare want them. Down deep in my heart, I don't dare want anything except to take this country.
Oh, let me go.
Please don't hate me, Margaret. I couldn't lie to you.
What is it, Sam?
I'm leaving you here, Mr. Lee.
Leaving us?
The Texas border's just 10 miles away. You'll go through all right.
What are you going to do?
When you get to the border, you have to swear allegiance to Mexico. That's something I can't do. Lanny and I aim to drift across.
Drifting into danger, Sam.
I've been there before, sir. Say goodbye to everyone for me, will you, sir?
This must be what they call a Texas fiesta.
Yeah. With Comanches as the unexpected guests. Looks like you got a right smart fight on your hands, friend.
Looks like you've just been through a little one yourself. You got any powder?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Crockett is my name. Davy Crockett from Tennessee.
Colonel Crockett. Your fame is widespread. Sam Houston at your service, sir.
Well, seems like I've heard tell of you too, General. Permit me to introduce our hostess, Senora Esteban.
Senor.
Senora, I'm honored.
And Jim Bowie from Georgia, a right-handed knife fighter.
I'm proud to know you, sir.
Crockett is my name, sir.
Upchurch is mine. Lenny Upchurch.
Your first visit to Texas, Mr. Upchurch?
Yep.
Well, Texas is a right unexpected place, ain't it?
Shucks, no. Why, the General and me, we fought battles that'd make this fiesta look like a church social. Why, at Horseshoe Bend...
You dropped your hat, Mr. Upchurch.
Doesn't the government in Mexico City provide any defense against outrages of this kind?
Government? There's 20,000 American settlers here, and a slew of decent, God-fearing Mexicans and Spaniards. But Texas is so all-fired big that
Settlements is hundreds of miles apart.
So there ain't any courts, and there ain't any voting, and there ain't any defenses, and there ain't any right, and there ain't nothing but taxes and Indian raids and trouble.
Don't die!
Death.
Don't die! I need you. Don't die!
Why doesn't somebody do something about it?
There ain't anybody but Steve Austin. He runs Texas. Leastwise, he runs the American part of it. He's just come back from parlaying with Santa Ana and Mexico City. We're riding south to see what's gonna happen.
Senor Austin will not fight. Always he talks of peace. And we're sick of peace. We bleed with peace. And we die of it. Oh, Mary, Holy Mary, send us aid. Send us deliverance. Send us a leader.
Mighty quiet out there.
Too quiet.
Reckon I vamoose.
Don't shoot, it's Lanny.
They're slipping in through the head of that big draw. There's nigh under 30 of them.
Reckon we better charge him, Mr. Crockett.
We can't. We'd be into our necks with oil and mud.
Oil? What kind of oil?
Natural oil seeping out of the ground. It's like quicksand. Better pass out the rest of that powder, General Houston.
No, Mr. Bowie, I got personal use for this powder.
We're all in this thing together.
That's how we're going to get out. Lanny make an infernal racket after I go.
My congratulations to you, General Houston.
And mine. We're indebted to you, sir, for our lives.
Don't thank me. Thank those oil springs, Mr. Bowie. They put an end to our Indian troubles for tonight, at least. Now, gentlemen, with your permission, I'd like to ride south with you. After what I've seen tonight, I'd like to give Austin a little argument about his peaceful plan for running Texas.
Well, ride along with us and welcome, General Houston. But when you're arguing with Austin, remember one thing. He's give his life to Texas. So far, you've give one horn of powder.
Wait, I'm very sorry, everybody, very sorry, but Mr. Austin can't talk to you just now. He's had a hard journey, and he's a very, very sick man.
What did Austin get out of Santa Ana? Tell us that.
Yes, how about it, Travis? Do we get to run our own affairs?
Is Texas going to be a separate state?
Mr. Austin has authorized me to tell you that the status of Texas as a province of Mexico remains unchanged.
Then we'll fight. If Mexico ain't gonna turn Texas loose, we'll bust her loose.
Sam Houston's right. We'll fight.
We'll chase all the Mexicans across the Rio Grande and take the whole country away from them.
What is it, Captain Travis? What's all the disturbance out there?
Sam Houston of Tennessee has just arrived with Davy Crockett and a group of armed men.
Sam Houston? What's he doing here?
He's talking to the people about fighting Mexico.
It's only fair to tell you, Mr. Austin, that Sam Houston's a troublemaker. He aims to start a revolution.
We want none of his kind here.
Fellow Texans, how long are you going to stand for? How long are you going to let Indians and white renegades burn your houses and kill your people? How long are you going to stand for these taxes and the greed of Mexican officials? I tell you, if you want to deliver this great land from the tyranny of Mexico, you must have a revolution. Between here and the coastline of the Pacific lies 2,000 miles of virgin territory. That should belong to us. We can set boundary lines for a rich and fertile kingdom larger than all Mexico, even larger than the United States herself.
And who are you, sir?
Houston's my name, Sam Houston.
Austin's mine, and my home is Texas. I stand for no man preaching revolution here.
Mr. Austin, the wagons of Texas stand at a fork in the road. Wagons southward mean slavery. Wagons westward, freedom.
Have you forgotten that this is a province of Mexico, and we have sworn our loyalty to its flag and constitution?
They have forfeited our loyalty by their neglect and abuse of honest Texan.
Who said so?
Sam Houston says so.
All right. Shut your face and let Steve Austin get his talking done.
President Santa Anna has promised the people of Texas a special organization suited to our special needs.
Then what about that rumor that he's ordered the colony disarmed?
If there is such a rumor, it's a lie, sir. Folks, please. Texas wants freedom, sir, but not your brand. We want freedom to build homes and plant crops and raise families without being stirred up by freebooting firebrands, seeking their own self-glory. I've heard that revolution speech 100 times since my father brought the first colonists to Texas 20 years ago. We've buried a lot of men who made that speech here, Houston. They died of hard Texas bullets. There's the road out of town and out of Texas. So I solemnly warn you, take your men and ride it before morning.
Margaret. Margaret.
Can't you see you're not wanted here? They have a leader. If you were thinking of the future of Texas instead of your own glory, you'd join Mr. Austin.
Never. He's dead wrong. Santa Anna's promises are worthless.
Whether they are or not, Mr. Austin's warned you to get out of Texas. He speaks for all of us. Every one of us.
Ja, nee, non! Nee, he! Ja, check to left!
Dene, Paul. Get set for a long ride, Lanny. We're heading north for rifles and money.
Suits me, General.
Come on, come on. Here, come on. Come on.
Austin. Steve Austin.
What's happened to this man, Deep?
Let him tell you if he's live enough to talk.
Que pase, hombre?
Usted, señor Austin. Soy uno de los que quedan de Zacatecas. General Cos, matar 5,000 hombres y mujeres y niños. General Santana también viene por el norte y nos quitan las armas. Sufrimos mucho, señor.
What does he say, Steve?
He says that General Cos, under orders from Santa Anna, is marching to disarm the northern provinces. These are survivors from Zacatecas, where Cos has already killed 5,000 men, women, and children because they defied the order.
Santa Anna sold you a bag of cats in Mexico City.
It's impossible. I can't believe it.
But if it's true, Steve.
Peace I wanted. And peace I fought for. But not at such a price. Never let them take your arms from you.
They won't get our guns.
Don't worry, Steve.
Hooray, Texas! War in Texas. War in Texas. Why don't Hoskins get here? Don't he know I got my men ready and we're itching to go? Don't he know that every hour counts? Then he go down to Stage Depot and see if you can find out what's keeping him.
Suits me, General.
Is General Houston there?
Yes, is that you, Hoskins?
Open up.
Evening, Sam. Major, post your men around the tavern and see that we're not disturbed.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing here?
This time, and from a sick bed, I've traveled over 1,200 miles to see you, Sam Houston. You wanted justice for your Cherokees, and you got it. This time I want justice for my people. Are you going to give it to me?
Just what are you driving at?
I told you in Washington that I wanted to see Texas a state in the Union before I died.
You'll never get it.
Will you? They've started the revolution without you.
And who's going to finish it for them? They haven't any army and no one to lead them. I have guns, money, and men at my command. Texas can't win without me.
All right. And if you do win the revolution for Texas and establish an outlaw state, it won't be 6 months before Texas will be overrun by every troublemaker in Europe. I know 3 countries right now that are itching to get a foothold in North America. Texas would be an open invitation for a violation of the Monroe Doctrine. And the only solution would be war with the United States. You can't do that to the country that I've hired out to govern.
You haven't hired out to govern me. I've got nothing to do with the United States.
Oh, yes, you have. You can't deny what's bred in your blood and bones that easy. I helped you bury your mother in Marysville. She was an American. So was your pa and his parents before him. You're an American. You'll always be one until the day you die. Sam, down there in a log hut in some prairie town, a state is being born. I'm the neighbor's boy who went for the doctor. Now you go down there and slap some life into that baby. Sam, I never had a real son, so I kind of adopted you. Like many a prideful father, I've let you ride pretty high. Now, I may not see you again. You're going to war for freedom, as you say. Up in Washington, you said we buried freedom under a pile of dirty politics. Well, I don't know, but what all politics have got some dirt in them someplace. But remember this, America is still the land of the free. She's always going to stay that way as long as Americans are running things. Not that our brand of freedom ain't got its faults. Couldn't help it. Being run by ornery humans like congressmen and you and me.
But I reckon the United States is still the only place in the world where a man can cuss the president out loud if he's a mind to. And all the president can do is cuss back or else go fishing. That's what I call democracy. God bless you, Sam.
Your attention, please. Friends, we have been called by the people of this territory to the sacred task of declaring our independence and drawing up a constitution, to the end that Texas may take our place in the Congress of Nations as a free and independent state. But our Declaration of Independence won't be any good unless we have a man who is able to lead our army to victory. Therefore, our first task is to choose our commander-in-chief. Nominations are now in order.
I nominate Davy Crockett.
Second the motion.
Jim Bowie. I nominate Captain Grant.
I'm for Captain Black.
Colonel Travis.
Seth Newcomb.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Gentlemen, we've been arguing for over 7 hours and we haven't got anywhere. 6 ballots have been taken, and no candidate has received anything like a majority. Are you going to let Texas flounder on the first issue to come before its governing body?
Steve is right. Why don't you withdraw Captain Blodgett? He ain't no soldier, never was.
Why don't you withdraw your man? You're pig-headed, that's why.
Pig-headed.
Yes, pig-headed.
I don't care what you say. He's the man for me.
Samuel Houston, sir. And 200 men from the United States volunteering for service in the Army of the Texas Republic.
I nominate Sam Houston.
Second the motion.
Who are you fighting for? Sam Houston or Austin?
For Texas and Andy Jackson.
Delegates of Texas, you have nominated for Commander-in-Chief of our Army, Sam Houston. All those in favor of General Sam Houston as Commander-in-Chief of the Texas Army, say... Aye!
Margaret,
Oh, Sam. Sam, I'm so happy.
we were both right about Texas, weren't we? Only we didn't know it.
I guess I always knew. Even when I thought I hated you. Down inside, I felt it would work out all right.
Margaret, I'm going to fight a war. I'd like to feel when I come back that you'll be waiting for me. I've never stopped loving you.
Sam.
Where's Steve Austin?
Inside, Deep. Deep Smith looks like he's rode a long ways.
What is it, Dave?
Santa Ana's heading for the Alamo.
The Alamo?
Message from Colonel Travis, Steve. Santa Ana with 3,000 men is marching to get in the Alamo.
The Alamo. How many men is Travis?
Less than 150.
Well, the Alamo's no fortress. Well, they can't hold Santa Ana off.
How long will it take you to get back there?
3 days with fresh horses.
And get back to Travis. And tell him as his new commander-in-chief, I order him to blow up the Alamo and fall back to Gonzales.
It's D. Smith. Open the gate and let him in.
Hello, Dave.
Orders from the convention, Colonel Travis.
Thank you.
What does Austin and them say, Bill?
Blow up the Alamo and fall back to Gonzales. If we did that, Santa Ana could circle our flank and be on the Brazos within a week. And the men of Texas now in convention might be captured or killed.
What can we do?
We can defend the Alamo. Delay Santa Ana for another week. By that time, the Constitution of Texas will have been drawn up and signed, and Texas will be free forever from Mexico. Gentlemen, I'm prepared to disobey this order and defend the Alamo.
It'd be too bad to blow up such a fine, strong building as this.
You know, Bill, it's a funny thing, but I don't remember ever getting that order at all.
No. Let's stay. We're with you.
Sure, we'll all stick with you.
We'll fight it.
Hey, every one of us, Bill.
All right, thank you. Thank you, boys. Lord God of hosts, be thou on our side.
So Travis refuses to surrender the Alamo. We'll give them something for all rebels to remember. Run up the no quarter flag.
Yes, General Santa Ana.
But they ain't gonna surrender. They'd rather die first.
We've got to adjourn immediately and march to their relief.
You can't do that. This Constitution's got to be finished first or everything's lost. Let me go with my men.
I'll be praying for you.
Now, tears are for defeat, darling.
I'm sorry. If I could only ride with you.
If you could, I wouldn't be writing back to you. With all the orange blossoms in Texas for your bright wreath.
Sound the chart.
And Santa Anna told me to tell all rebels in Texas that if they wanted to escape the same death, to beg for peace, to surrender their arms, to remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Santa Anna's coming! Run for your lives!
I ain't running from nobody. This is my home. I've got a wife and kid. Back to New Orleans for me.
Mary! Mary! Mary!
Santa Anna's coming! Get out of town!
Arthur! Arthur!
Santa Anna's coming! Head for the border!
John! Don't back up and get out of here right away. You get just the horses quick.
Santa Anna's coming! Get out of town!
Santa Anna said, remember the Alamo.
Hurry, hurry. Let's get away from here. Come on, let's go. Oh.
Ferry! Get over the Red River!
Our army's deserting! Get out of Texas!
Run for your lives! Houston is retreating!
Any change of orders, General?
No, keep retreating.
We've been retreating like scared jackrabbits now for the last 2 weeks. I come down here to fight, not to run.
If Houston's scared to fight, let him turn over the command to somebody else.
It's an ideal spot to camp, General. Plenty of water and...
I hope Santa Anna will be of the same opinion. We'll continue retreating.
We didn't come down here with an army to retreat, General Houston. We came to fight.
That's it, Captain. Let's fight.
Let's quit running. We'll shoot their eyes out.
That's enough. You've heard my orders, and they're the same as they've been for the past 3 weeks. We continue to retreat. Mount your men, General.
Mount up, men! Company! Halt!
There's no use trying to follow that trail in the dark. We'll camp here for the night.
Prepare to dismount!
Providence is with us, gentlemen.
Dismount!
General Santa Anna, you've made a mistake. Deef, tell the men to make camp. And they can light fires tonight. As many as they like.
But, General, Santa Anna will spot our position.
I want him to.
General Santa Anna, campfires on the mesa.
Why did they light them, the fools? Perhaps thinking to tempt us to an uphill attack on open slopes. We will not fall into their childish trap. When the Americans attack, you'll await my command to charge. We'll destroy them to the last man as we did at the Alamo.
Yes, sir. Company! Forward!
Here, where you going?
Get out of my way.
General ain't to be disturbed. Strict orders.
Orders be danged. We got a battle on our hands. General Houston. General Houston.
Well, Deef, what's ailing you?
Santa Anna's forces are ready to fight. What are you aiming to do about it?
Oh, just let him stew in the hot sun for a spell.
No, no. I do not agree with you. The Americans are afraid to fight. They will probably retreat again under cover of darkness. Let us retire like gentlemen to our siesta.
Tommy, do you know how to play a charge?
Well, no, sir, General Houston. I only just learned one tune.
What's that?
Come to the bower.
Well, that'll have to do, son. Come along. Get the men ready.
Break camp, men!
Gentlemen, this 21st day of April will someday go down in history as either the beginning or the end of Texas independence. I give you one thought to take with you across the open space and into the camp of Santa Anna. Remember the Alamo. All right, Tommy, play.
muchachos! ¡Claro, ahí vienen los tejanos! ¡Salen, agarren sus rifles!
Charge! Remember the Alamo! Charge!
Turn out. Battle formation. Yes, sir.
Remember the Alamo! Remember the Alamo!
It breaks my heart to see your flag coming down, Sam.
You should be proud, as I am proud. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republic of Texas is no more. As you all know, it has been my dream for several years to see Texas a state in the Union. But it has also been the dream and goal of one other. A great man who has loved Texas and fought for her through the years. Andrew Jackson.
This is by courier from Washington on the Brazos, Texas. The annexation of Texas to the United States has been ratified by the Congress of Texas. President Houston is leaving immediately after the ceremonies to bring the official notification to your bedside.
Texas in the Union. Sam Houston. True to his country and to himself.
My son, in the years to come, never forget that you've stood in the presence of a great American, Andrew Jackson.